Hey, hey, I am here today with the incredible Gemma Bernard, and we are going to have an epic conversation. And the reason I've asked Gemma to chat with me today on this topic in particular, so Gemma and I go way back. We've been connected for a number of years now online, and she has not only been a friend and a mentor and a guide, but she is now also our mindset and energetics mentor in magnetic selling. And we are so fortunate to have her brilliance and her wisdom in the group. And I wanted to have this conversation today because it feels like we're at a bit of a pivotal defining moment in time when it comes to the era of business. I think a lot of us are feeling some monumental shifts. Potentially, that's how we want to shift doing our own business. And the word doing there is key to how we want to be in our business. I think a lot of us are feeling called for more meaning, more purpose, more intention, and equally a shift away from perhaps how we thought it was meant to be done or how we have been taught it has to be done. And so today I really want to open up this new portal, new world of possibility for how we might create success truly on our own terms and what that might look, feel, and sound like. So, Gemma, I think that's a great opportunity to introduce you and your voice on this enormous topic and crucial topic. And to ask you, what are your thoughts with regards to what is changing and shifting in this quote unquote new era of business from your perspective?
Yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head. And I think that anyone that's listening to this is probably going to be able to reflect on the last 12 months, 24 months, 3 years, even 4 years in terms of business, probably even in terms of life as well. And I think so many of us have experienced an overhaul. Um, Maybe it's not yet an overhaul of how we do business, but it's an overhaul in terms of our perspective, our belief systems, the way that we want to live and breathe and do business and show up in this world. And we have really moved out of this place, I think, where so many of us, let's keep it in the context of business, have really felt this pull to kind of do it a specific way. We've looked at other people's success, we've seen what people have done, and we've really tried to emulate that. And that's worked to a certain extent for so many people. I think it's got people to a certain place. And then a lot of people are bumped up against what they might sort of feel like this terms of form of resistance. And instead of seeing that as a problem that we need to go and fix, we're starting to look at, well, how might we do things differently? And one of the biggest things that's shining through right now is that we're asking ourselves, how can we be more authentically ourselves in business? Like you talk about creating success on our own terms, and what sits at the core of that is that concept of authenticity. What is aligned for us? What feels good for us? Not just what looks good on paper or looks good on social media or looks even good in our bank account, right? Yes, we want those things. Yes, we still want, for the most part, a lot of those conventional metrics of success, but we're really moving into this area where it is much more somatically based, which is really how does success feel? Like, how does it actually feel? Like, we want this deeper alignment, and that's becoming more and more of a priority for people. It's becoming more and more a priority for people in terms of like high level, how we run our business, how it's structured, our offer suites, how we even offer the work that we do, our pricing, how we're showing up online. Never really have we had a space where we can show up as authentically as we want to right now. And that really is shining through. And I really think that is the biggest shift that we're seeing. And that, by the way, it's liberating. I think so many of us are feeling like this exhale, like, oh my God, okay, I can do this my own way. But with that, is coming for so many of us a lot of questions. There's more questions than there are answers right now. Like, what does that look like? How do I do that? Is this going to work out? All of those things. And this is that space where we're really being asked to let go of all the evidence that we've had that's created what we have right now in our business. And we're stepping into this era that really is illogical. It doesn't make sense. I don't have evidence. Will it work out? I don't know. And we're having to cultivate that inner sense of knowing at a very, very different level than we've ever had before. And whilst so many people are really excited, like we're having conversations all the time inside of magnetic selling, like so many people, like I do human design sessions, right, which is really helping people ground into their own unique way of being, like who they are at a deeper level. And people love those sessions because they really start to get to know themselves better and how they can actually show up in their business. So we're seeing it from the conversations that you and I are having day in, day out with the magnetic selling members about this shift that they're going through. And it really is what I'm seeing is this mixture of like excitement, but also a bit of trepidation. It's like climbing a mountain. You look at the mountain, you're like, my God, that mountain looks so incredible. I really would love to climb that. It's exactly what I want. And then you get to the bottom and you're like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? Am I going to get to the top? What's it going to be like? Like we have so many questions. And, so many people want to be able to move forward with that level of confidence. But I don't know, maybe it's not confidence we need. Maybe it's something else.
Yeah. And it was so funny because you said we can exhale, and just a moment before you'll see it on the replay, I literally went as you talked about
Yeah.
alignment. So with regards to, there's so many things I want to unpack here, but with
Mm.
regards to the shifts that are actually happening, obviously your world and space in terms of how you support magnetic selling community is from an energetic and astrological shifts. What is happening in this moment in time that's kind of awakening this new era in the way that we're describing it? And how can we just break that down in a simple but powerful way for people to?
Yeah, look, I think if we can just even pull on the astrological thread, I think the biggest shift that a lot of people, if they're familiar with this, even just a surface level, will know that we've gone through a really big shift from Pluto out of Capricorn into Aquarius. That's literally just happened this year. So we are in very, very new territory. And Capricorn really is a lot of that results success driven, more competitive, what some of us might call old school success. And again, it served a place in time to bring us, like, it's not nothing, none of this is good or bad or right or wrong or anything like that. It's just a different way of doing business. And Aquarius energy is so innovative, it's so unique, right? There's an unusualness to it. Aquarians very much are revolutionary. And that is because in the Aquarian era, we do pave different paths. We do things differently. We do innovate in a different way. That's the biggest shift that's really seeding so much of what people are experiencing. So maybe you haven't been able to put your finger on exactly what it is. Maybe it's just you feeling this inside of you, like, oh, this just doesn't feel right anymore. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on. And I'm telling you, this shift that we're going through astrologically is significant because we've never seen Pluto and Aquarius in our lifetime. This will be the one and only time we ever see it in our lifetime as well. It's going to go on for the next couple of decades. So we are in early stages of it. But that's going to be that little bit of that, what my husband likes to term discombobulated feeling. It's like when we've taken one foot out of where we used to be, but we haven't fully landed into that. Like we've like dipped our toe in the water of the new pool we're about to swim in, but we haven't dived head first in yet. We're just kind of testing the water, but we're going in. We can't go back. Like we're going in. But that's really that big shift that people are experiencing. It's out of this very traditional way of building success, which has had a lot of hustle involved. Again, hustle's not bad. It is it's that energy of effort is required no matter what era we're in. It's just where is that efforting focused on? And what we're moving into is putting more effort into that innovation. I think that's the biggest thing. It's like really analyzing where are things out of alignment and where am I going to innovate in my own world? And innovation just means change. It means doing things differently. It means paving a new path. It means walking down a trajectory and going down strategies and tactics and business models and ways of making money and thinking about the world that we've just never explored before. And that can be never explored on a collective level. Like we're going to see innovation like you've never seen before. Like, who knows what's going to happen, but think like cars flying in the sky type, like, you know what I mean? Like it's like things we've never seen before. So it might be, ways of doing business that we've never seen before. We're going to see a lot of people coming out with all of that. But it's also going to be on a individual level. It could also just be, oh, okay, well, I used to run my business this way. I just always used to do one-to-one offers. And now I actually want to move into maybe, group coaching. And maybe I want to do group coaching and I want to use an AI support coach. Like it's going to be innovative on an individual level in terms of things I've never done before. And that really, to me, what symbolizes this pivotal moment that we're going through and the change we're experiencing right now.
And I think that's where we can feel the that kind of pull and
Yeah.
push of both excitement at possibility of doing
Yes.
things differently with the uncertainty and therefore the resistance and all the questions of literally it's either the familiar of what we know and what has got us to
Hmm.
this point and what has made us successful in many ways and what has created impact and hit milestones we once only ever dreamed of versus the unfamiliar territory where we're feeling this nonsensical, as you say, illogical call and pull, but we don't know what that looks like in terms of mapping out the new terrain. And so I know because I'm having so many conversations on almost daily basis, as I know you are too, Gemma, there's so many people stuck in that stuck in that space right now. They're perceiving it to be stuck in that space where it's like, do I just throw it all in? Do I change business model? Do I
Yeah.
the business? Do I change niche? What am I now birthing in this new area when the, I guess, blueprint for how I've always done things is changing and shifting, and I'm yet to define what this new paradigm of success even looks like. So naturally, there's going to be these questions. Naturally, there's going to be the sense of uncertainty, but there's also excitement and curiosity. So when we think about this shift from the familiar to the unfamiliar, what is most important for people to really kind of be focusing on that's going to support that transition, would you say?
Well, I mean, from an energetic point of view, you've already said it. It's curiosity. I mean, that really is the number one thing. And this is like, like you say, you talk about to like writing your own rules for success. We are literally throwing out the rule book right now. We literally are. But here's the thing, so many of us are sitting here waiting for someone else to give us the new rule book because that's what we've been used to, but it's not. You are being handed a blank canvas, a blank book right now. And your job at this point is to open it up and start writing your own rules. Now, you don't know what rules are going to work for you. You don't. You just don't know that. And this is for those that can master the energy and frequency of uncertainty. And I talk about mastering that from a nervous system point of view. And when I talk about mastering it, that doesn't mean you don't feel it. That doesn't mean you don't experience it. It means that when it lands, you choose what you do with it. You're going to let that propel you forward into that place of curiosity, or are you going to let it spiral you back into seeking that sense of certainty outside of ourselves? Like we have to be self-sourced in terms of our nervous system. We have to be able to self-regulate right now because, yeah, we are honestly, we're like I talk about the breadcrumb strategy with a lot of people inside magnetic selling, and that is you don't know what the path is. All you need to do is just pick up the next breadcrumb. That's it. That's curiosity. It's like, oh, okay, what's this going to be like? Let me try this out. Let me try out this strategy. Let me try out this offer. Let me try out this pricing structure. Let me try out this new business model. Let me try out this new thing. Like, let me see what is going to happen with this. Let me see what results are going to come. Like, I don't know how this is going to go. And I'm telling you, this is a time for the bold. It is a time for the bold. It's a time for the bold in us, and we all have a bold version of us in us. Okay, this isn't like, oh, you're bold and you're bold. Oh, no, you're not bold. No, you stay where you are. You just wait till everyone else goes, and then you follow the path. It's no, we've got to like let that version of us that is bold, that is courageous, that does have that conviction, that has that level of curiosity inside, enough to be able to say, I wonder. I wonder if I do this, what could happen? Like, I wonder. And that's actually what it takes. It's simple in theory, right? It's very simple in theory. It's in practice where the humanness in us comes out, where the nervous system goes, hang on, because you said familiar, unfamiliar, and that our nervous system has one job, and that's to keep us alive. And in order to do that, it's going to always want to keep us in what is familiar, what we know, no matter how that makes us feel. Like it's like I don't care whether you're happy, I don't care whether you're joyful, fulfilled, anything like that. My job is to keep you alive, and that means I need to keep you safe, and I just want to keep you in that familiar. So we've really got to learn how to really master that aspect of our nervous system. And then when we do, it allows us to be able to move forward one step at a time. But that's practice. It just takes practice.
Love that. And I'm really hearing something that I think we voice a lot in our work, which is the need for exploration, the need for creativity, the need for playfulness, curiosity, experimentation in this era. Because as you said, we don't have a crystal ball. The rules are yet to be quote unquote written. There is a blank slate of possibility. And so it's really taking a completely different approach, which is not tried and tested route, which has, for so long been the one
Mm.
that a lot of us have kind of sought out, but more that, as you say, opening up the world of possibility. And you talked about the age that we're in right now in terms of the astrological changes being one of innovation. And at the core of innovation is experimentation, is playfulness, is exploration. So when it comes to innovation, I guess what qualities of character in terms of the version of ourselves that, we might want to tune into more deeply or call forth in this moment are going to best serve us? And what are the biggest opportunities when it comes to being in an age, an era of innovation versus tried and tested traditional routes of success?
Yeah. So I'm going to keep it so simple in terms of the version of us. It's the child in us. We have to bring forward the
What I
child.
have in my head, I was thinking
We've
about.
got it where it's like so simple. And if you have children or you are around children, whether it's nieces or nephews or grandchildren or you've been a child at some point, you'll remember we just had wonder. We were just curious as to the world, like, oh, like what could happen if we went down this way? Like I was out with my twins this morning, they're 9.5. I took them on a scooter ride and they were like, Mum, we want to go a different way. Can we lead the way? Yeah, off you go. Okay, let's go this way. Let's go this way. Let's go this way. And that's that childlike wonder and curiosity of like, if we follow this path, I wonder where it will lead us. I wonder where we'll go. I wonder where we'll end up. I wonder what the journey will be like. That's the version of us that we want to bring forward. Okay. And that's actually really simple for us to access because it lives inside of our nervous system. It's a nervous system state that we can tap into anytime, anywhere, really, really simply and quickly. And when we do, that allows us to start viewing the next steps that we're taking in our business through a very, very different lens. And is that lens of curiosity versus that lens of expectation of like, oh, if I go this way, I'm gonna land here. I'm gonna be here. Okay.
That's such a crucial point. And I think it's that weight of expectations that sometimes makes business feel more
Yeah.
stressful.
It's attachment, okay? It's all attachment. It's when we have an attachment to an outcome, when we have an expectation that something is going to go a certain way because we're attached to that outcome. We're expecting that that outcome is going to deliver something to us. And generally, it's going to be how it's going to make us feel. And this again is what I said to you, we have to become really self-sourced. Like self-regulation in the nervous system is just it's numero uno priority right now in terms of helping us energetically navigate this landscape. Okay. And the new strategies that we're going to be trying, the new ways that we're going to innovate, because never has it been more true right now that the world is your oyster. Like never has it been more true than it is right now. I would even say the galaxy is your oyster. Like it's like we're really playing in a very, very different realm right now. So when we say anything is possible, there is nothing off limits right now. There really is nothing off limits. Like this world is going to look vastly different in the next 20 years. Our world, our own inner world, our own home environment, everything is going to look different. So when we bring that level of curiosity, that level of childlike wonder and awe is really powerful too. The energy and frequency of awe, like letting your breath be taken away, it's going to be powerful. Okay. And that doesn't like one of the things that kids are so good at is falling down and getting back up again. Right. And this is something that we also have to master too. Right. We have to like we talk about experimentation, you know, like, do you think that the computers that you and I are connecting on right now was just a one time thing? It was like, oh, this is what we'll do, bang, done. Oh, here we go. Out. No, it wasn't. It was like experimentation of all the technology that goes into it over and over and over again, and then constant innovation. Okay. It was constantly innovated until we got to the point that we are today, and we're talking the way that we're talking. And that requires experimentation. That requires that growth mindset, that requires someone to have that very much childlike sense of curiosity and wonder at all times. And if we can hold that and we can do that and we can guide ourselves out of the place of attachment, we're going to find this period such a joy to work in. We really will. And I think that opportunity is available to all of us no matter what.
Yeah, and this is where we're really at that precipice and entering the realm of illogical success, like results that make zero sense.
Yeah.
And I think you hit the nail on the head when you said, the key to navigating through this and creating such a logical success is to first and foremost be self-sourced.
Mm.
So I know we talk a lot about, what it means to land and have impact and get the types of responses we want in the world to our work, but it starts with that all important inner yes and self-trust and what you mentioned at the very start of that inner knowing. So can you touch a little bit more on the importance of that versus perhaps what has led us to our current status quo in terms of mind and beliefs and
Yeah, well, what's led us to where we've been has always been belief, and belief is built on the precipice and the premise of evidence. Like we've got evidence that this works, so we just keep doing it, right? And that's where we found ourselves in. And we are shifting into this space now, and that's why I say to you, like being self-sourced. So when we have evidence, that's externally referencing, right? That's our ability to go, okay, I'm going to do this thing in my business. I'm going to write a post like this. I'm going to write my messaging like this. I'm going to create an offer like this because it has worked before. I have a bank of evidence that I can call on that makes me feel safe. That's basically what it is. It makes me feel safe enough to be able to do that. And the interesting thing for a lot of people is that what has was working actually isn't working. And I don't know, I've had so many conversations with people around this. Like I've watched people's businesses just like crumble to the ground, not because they've done anything wrong. In fact, they've changed nothing from what they've done before, but literally the old ways are crumbling in front of us. Like so many people are actually being pushed in this direction, but instead of, willingly walking down the path. And the thing is because we are walking on a path that we have not walked before and we don't know what is around the corner, we have to come back into ourselves. We don't have that external reference to provide us with validation that this is going to work anymore. Okay. We haven't yet necessarily got the audience or put the offer out in this particular way that we know our audience is going to resonate with. We don't know that. And so where we have potentially relied on putting a post out there and hey, we get engagement, we get likes, we get comments, we get whatever. Oh, I know that this works. Now we're having to go, well, I'm going to do this. I haven't tested this yet. I don't know if this is going to work yet. So we have to have that sense of inner knowing, that sense of conviction, that sense of I'm going to do this. I'm going to create the evidence. Okay. I don't have the evidence yet. I'm going to go and create that evidence. And I'm going to do this because it feels right to me. And that's one of the biggest distinctions for a lot of people is actually coming back and trusting that what feels right. So what allows their body to feel open, not braced, to feel grounded, not gripping, right? That part, that's what we have to trust in more than the engagement on our social media or the offer, selling. That will come
Mm.
when we are experiencing that.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I think often we're waiting for the validation, we're waiting for the confirmation, the
Yeah.
acknowledgement response to tell us, oh, okay, this is valuable.
Well,
Oh,
it
okay.
becomes a permission slip, right? It ends up becoming a permission slip. Someone's writing you a permission slip that says, "Hey, put your offer out this way, write this way. I'm giving you permission, and in return, I'm going to give you my like, my comment, my DM, my whatever." And that's no judgment. That just is. That's how it is. And now instead, we're having to write our own permission slip.
Right. And I think that's the biggest invitation for today, for listening to this conversation, is to start writing your own permission slip in this new era of business. And
Mm.
what this realm of possibility, represents for you. Like start really tuning into that. Like what can you be in awe of? What can you be curious about? What can you wonder about? I think
Yeah.
that's really powerful.
Yeah. Yeah. We've got to ask ourselves these questions, definitely.
Now, in the spirit of all of this, um, you and me are coming together for a collaboration like we've never
We
done before.
are.
It's so exciting. And in essence of this pivotal defining moment where we're recognizing, things are shifting, the way we do things need to shift accordingly as well. And this is what has birthed the instant yes experiment. So the focus of this being, really understanding how to activate the people in our audience who are ready to move, the ones who are emboldened and empowered in themselves, and who are seeking, guidance, direction, way showers, seeking your mastery, seeking your craft. And us, this is about us making it easy for the right people to access what they're already looking for and not getting in our own way, not getting in our own heads, that's actually preventing them from opening up the portal to their next level of possibility. So, with that in mind, we're coming together because there are two fundamental components to this. I'm going to be talking about the sales psychology aspects, the things that people need to be exposed to have an awareness of in order to know at that deeper level that something feels right is right for them to say yes to. And those things actually don't shift because this is biopsychology. This is understanding what actually leads and motivates people to say yes or no. Full stop. It's tapping into how our brains work and how we can create that easefulness in our messaging. So I'm going to be sharing something I have never shared publicly before, which is the instant yes messaging codes, the things that you're going to infuse into your content that help activate at a subconscious level the yes from your audience. And crucially, Gemma, you are bringing the other piece of this puzzle, which is so necessary, and I think more necessary than ever before to intentionally focus on. Do you want to speak to that?
Yeah. So you're taking care of the instant yes messaging. I'm taking care of the inner yes mindset. And that's what we're going to be talking about because so much what we talked about today is about cultivating that level of conviction and inner knowing that you have in you, that you have in your work, in your offer, in your services, in your pricing, in every aspect of what you do. And that you let that be a living, breathing frequency that gets infused into the undercurrent of your messaging. Holly's taking care of the incredible words that activate people at a psychological level. And I'm talking about the frequency that activates people at an energetic level, right? Because we can have, people that read our messaging, and yet it's still that felt sensory experience that they have as well. And we want that. Both are equally important. Okay. And that's the thing. And it's not 50-50, it's 100-100. Like your message and the words you use are 100% responsible for the response that you get. And so is your frequency. So is your mindset, your energetics, your nervous system. And we want to infuse that into the words that you create so that you get that instant yes. But it begins with an inner yes. It begins there. And so I'm going to be taking you through the inner yes codes, the things that we want you saying yes to within yourself. That's going to be that attraction point that magnetizes those ideal buyers who are like, yes, this is me. This is for me. This is what I want. Yes, I want this. Let's go. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is the whole purpose behind magnetic selling, full stop.
Yeah.
It's really what underpins that. It's both the energy and it's that activation. It's the art and it's the science.
Yes.
And this is why we're so excited to offer this. So
Mm.
I'm going to pop the link in the comments with all the details. You're not going to want to miss this opportunity because you will get not only these tools that are going to help you pave this new path in this new era of success, but you're also going to get access to both Gemma and I for personalized support as you implement. in the pop-up community. So this is going to be just a phenomenal experience, and one I think that's going to stay with you for some time, far, far beyond the event itself. So we're so excited for you to jump in. Any final things you want to add there, Gemma, before we wrap up?
Yeah, I think you've heard Holly and I talk about the necessity of experimentation as we move into this new era, which is why we have crafted an experience for you that is an experiment. And so, not only what you learn in terms of the messaging tweaks and strategies for you to implement, it's also going to be about learning how to be a scientist, an experimenter, and an innovator in your own business. So, you're also through this experience, yes, we're going to teach you very practical, tangible things that you can do, but you're going to also be in a container and held in space of experimentation. And so this will transcend just the time that you spend with us. Like Holly said, this will be something you won't forget because you will learn skills in terms of how to actually experiment in your business that will take you into the next era of whatever it is that you're here to create as well. And we're just so incredibly excited to be able to bring this work to you and to also to support you in the practical experimentation of what it's going to take for you to craft, create, and receive instant yeses in your business.
Beautiful. I don't think we can add any more to that. This is the time, this is the moment if you are ready for your era of illogical results, of doing things your way, of innovating, creating, being in wonder and awe, and seeing just what could be, then we would love for you to join us. So I'm going to pop the
Absolutely.
link in the comments. Gemma, thank you so much for this incredible conversation and one that we're definitely going to be continuing.
Definitely.